city of Columbia was originally built as by the United States government in the 1890s as a sort of a floating World's Fair, something they could float from one corner of the earth to the other and demonstrate to the rest of the world the success of the American experiment.
7 years ago.
Keep looking, Lincoln.
And what happened was there was a power struggle within Columbia. And this fellow who you'll sort of start to get a sense of in this demo, named Comstock, came into power in the city. And he had a bit of a different view. He had a more, extreme view of what the mission of America and the world is. And there were some people in the city who didn't like that. And that group was Vox Populi.
Here you go, you sons of bitches! Your homes are ours! Your lives are ours! Your wives are ours! It all belongs to the Vox!
And it started as a sort of a resistance, almost like a student movement against, the founders, the founders group that Comstock led, as, working to help, to unionize workers, to protect the rights of minorities, things like that within the city. But as the conflict between the founders and the Vox Populi got more extreme, each side started sort of ramping up their actions.
Hey, little girl! Yeah!
Where you going? Come on!
Booker.
Listen, friend. We're not looking for any trouble.
Yeah. All right, then.
And by the time you get to Columbia and you'll see the Vox Populi in the demo, the conflict is pretty extreme, and both sides have a bit of an attitude of, well, as long as we win, nothing else matters. And you encounter the founders last time and sort of got a sense of the dark side of them. And this time you'll encounter Daisy Fitzroy, who's the leader of the Vox Populi. You'll hear her speaking, you'll see her people at work, and what they're doing is they're essentially cleansing a portion of the city, moving the founders out of a portion of the city, a rich part of the city, and coming in themselves, and it's not a pretty picture to behold.
I didn't do any of this!
Hey! It's just a postman. He didn't hurt anybody.
It's the win! It's the win! Get him!
Everybody can see in the world of Columbia these tears that are windows into these worlds that Heisenberg and Einstein were starting to explain to us. Elizabeth can actually reach into those worlds and manipulate them.
He's in pain.
Not for long. I need you to step back.
Wait, there's a tear.
And that becomes this great game system we call the tears in Bioshock Infinite, where you'll be in a space and you'll see a window where you see a skyline that doesn't exist in the Columbia that Booker is in.
What did you do? What did you do?
Booker.
Close it! Close it!
Trying!
Close it now!
What was that? What was that?
Elizabeth is essentially saying to you is, I can bring one of these three in for you, Booker. Which one do you want me to bring in? And that's up to the player.
I think I can help! Just tell me which one you want!
That one! Now!
We're gonna have all these tools that the player can access via Elizabeth that is gonna make everybody's play experience different. And that's what we always want with Bioshock. We want the way I play it, the way you play it, the way he plays it to be different. And that's Elizabeth's ability to manipulate terrorists is just another great way to do that. Skylines have a broad range of usage, and you'll see in the demo, cargo being moved around on those things. That creates even a more hazardous situation. But there's also people using it for all kinds of purposes, including and especially combat.
It's all right. Don't worry.
I'm a little worried!
clackety-clack feeling of, that going up to the top of a hill and then going over, and that amazing feeling you have. And I really want to put that in a game. I want to get that feeling in a game. And then, of course, being a video game, I want to enhance that with combat. I want to be on one of those old wooden roller coasters that's stacked upon another wooden roller coaster in this city, and jumping from one to the other with weapons, with people shooting at me. I just wanted to get that feeling. And this isn't a monorail. This isn't a people mover. This is something that is incredibly vertical. It's incredibly open-ended.
I don't think I can do it again.
And that's what Bioshock games are about. They're about giving the player a ton of tools and a ton of options and just letting them go to town.
Might be more supplies this way, or straight to Comstock House. What do you think?
That was the one who was chasing you, right?
No, that wasn't him. That wasn't him.